Welcome viewers. My name is Banana Peddler. This is Banana Peddler Show. Unfortunately, today Prof is absent. He is feeling indisposed, but we pray for him. He will be better. Anyway, today I'm joined by my political scientist, Dr. Onyango Ochieng Jr.
Yes.
This week, there has been a lot.
Yeah.
Before we proceed, what is your take? How has been your week?
First of all, my week has been very much okay. And one incident stood out. I really want to salute the governor of Migori, one Honorable Okotobado, His Excellency Okotobado, for taking his fidelity to the conditions of that bail. It is not easy, my friend. It is not easy. Remember, his house in Rapogi falls within 15 kilometers to the border, which was actually part and parcel of the conditions of the bail. What this gentleman did was to move out of there just to show good faith that indeed he respects court decisions, all right? So we need to, this was a good thing because it is going now to usher a culture where we are respecting the courts. Remember, one of the problems that we've been having in this country of ours is that people don't respect court decisions. People just go about them, trashing them anyhow. But what the governor has done, it's okay. And especially the matter of traveling to Nairobi to report to the court registrar and the DCI, that was splendid. And wherever the governor is, congratulations, sir. We need more of such. We need more fidelity.
It's a good example.
We need more fidelity to the law.
It's worth mirroring.
Yes.
Now, Dr. Onyango Ochieng Jr.
Yes.
It is now official that Kenyans have the best shock absorbers of every bad news. In fact, anything that comes their way, they easily move on. They take it, they accept, and they move on. For instance, I want us to talk about this. There is moral decay. Our moral fiber decay, in fact, it has gotten to a level whereby even students, you saw the students of, allegedly students of Ambira High School.
Yes.
And I'm also told that is you are an alumni of the same school.
It's my alma mater.
Yes. You saw the way those boys actually were insulting Matiang'i and CS Amina Mohammed. Really, has it gotten there? Because I can remember, before you say anything, I can remember during our time when we were growing up. In fact, it is children who used to obey their parents. But nowadays, it is parents who obey their children. What is wrong with our society?
Typical of a tail wagging the dog. The dog no longer wags the tail.
Yes.
It is very, very sad. First of all, it is very sad for me and I take it very personal. I am actually one of those people, one of those students who passed through Ambira High School. During our days, we were so respectful, we were so mindful, we were so patriotic. All right? And they imbued in us a culture of discipline, a culture of, in fact, I remember one headmaster actually was Tom Obondo, who told us that it was Mr. Obondo, it's been a while, who told us that to a gentleman, one word is enough. So while actually we're in school, one word was just enough. Always do the right thing because God is watching from a distance. What I saw, I'm shocked. But now, I don't want to limit it to Ambira High School specifically because we've been seeing students going around burning schools and all that. I think we need to re-engineer our education system. We need to re-engineer our education system so that we move beyond academic passing. Cramming and passing. So we move beyond this concept where a school is a conveyor belt where students just walk in, pass the exams and go. We need to go the South African way. Remember when Professor, this guy is called Professor, the leader of Nkatha Party in South Africa, Mangosuthu Buthelezi, was appointed the Minister for Education, someone in Natal or around there. What he did, first of all, was to introduce a subject called Ubuntu Bodo. Ubuntu Bodo was there to bring in the traditional cultures and values so that these kids not only just go to school to learn and to be trained so that discipline can enter them, but discipline is part and parcel
of the learning system. So that we produce conscious citizens, we conscientize them, so that we produce conscious citizens who are patriotic and who love this country and who see beyond being criminal, being hoodlums, being thugs. But Daktari, are these children to blame? Because when you look at what is happening at the society right now, even we adults, the things we are doing, man, they are not worth even.
But that is where
look at
the society.
Before I proceed,
let me interject you kidogo. The society that we live in has excelled in coping bad manners. We live in a society where bad things are more are more attractive than good things. We live in a society that has no role models. Show me around. Look at the people these kids aspire.
For example,
Yes.
that now reminds me of there is an ongoing war between Akode, musician Akode, and blogger Robert Alai. In fact, these people are trading insults online.
Yes.
I don't know their intention, but whatever their intention, in fact, they are bad manners now. They are showing bad manners to their kids.
Perhaps now.
Are these the people our kids are looking up to?
Unfortunately, I've never listened to Akode's music.
I don't know one.
But
I don't know one.
I'm told Akode is a musician. I think I know one Robert Alai. I've met him twice or thrice.
Yes.
But unfortunately, this is the time now I want to see the best of the moral police, the gentleman at the Kenya Film Classifications Board.
Ezekiel Mutua.
I think this is the time we need to see him. I think this is the time now we need to see the ethics, and the other one that deals with hate speech is called what?
Hate speech, the
NCIC, the National Commission on Integration and Commission.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something like that.
They're the ones that deals with this kind of discussions. I think it is time that that Mutua and the Kaparo-led commission summon these two characters and tell them, hey, you are poisoning.
But you see these people,
yes.
What is their intended results? Why are they doing this?
Of course, they're looking for cheap publicity, and we live in a nation where people have excelled in copying bad things, and it's only bad things that make news. In this nation, actually, when you burn a cathedral, is when you appear in the headlines. But when you invent a car, you will nobody will get to know.
Normal.
Nobody will get to know. So we are getting into that kind of a conversation of man bites dog. Well, if man bites a dog, it becomes news and all that, and it becomes a national sensation.
Yeah, because these people, the words they are exchanging online is really
it is
something else.
The words they're exchanging online is actually feculent. Those words are so dirty, so immoral, so stupid. Until I'm asking myself one thing: don't they have children?
But for
don't they have families? Don't they know that the society is looking up to them?
Akode,
yes.
Let me comment something. There is actually experts are saying that for Akode, it is purely esteem issue. This lady has everything. We don't know whether she has the money that maybe she portrays as she wants us to believe. But people say that she has esteem issues, self-esteem issues. There is something wrong with her. She's not herself.
Wow.
Maybe I don't know.
I wouldn't wish to be drawn into
because if you are, why would you insult somebody?
I wouldn't wish to be drawn into discussing the character of Akode.
Why would you insult somebody
yes.
based on his economical whatever? Economical disadvantage.
Akode, I wouldn't wish to describe to be drawn into a conversation of discussing the content of character of Akode. But let me say this: that we live in a world where there's this thing called the influencer, whatever in marketing. Yeah. So I think she's just building.
Especially online.
I think she's just building an audience. In my own thinking, unfortunately, the path she's choosing is a path that is least inspiring.
Yeah, because she seems to pick a fight with everyone.
It is a path that is least inspiring. It is a path that is leading to doom and destruction. It is a path actually we should embrace. I'm wondering how comes the Law Society of Kenya has not invited these two characters, and unfortunately I'll call them eschatological characters. They are doomsday characters.
And what does
I want Law Society of Kenya to invite them and arbitrate over whatever they're fighting over, so that at least we can have some standards of discipline in this country.
Yeah, that reminds me too.
Yes.
There is this lady the other day, the musician from Tanzania, the one who was saved, and a lot of demons. A lot of demons were cast out of her by Nganga.
That was a bad story when he told it. That was a bad. Let me tell you. And unfortunately, the only thing we watched was a choreography. It was a choreography. But I want to advise spiritual conmen like he's called who?
Nganga. He's called Nganga.
That is a spiritual quack. I want to advise him to hire a script supervisor, a script writer, people with experience and exposure, so that by the time they bring that script to us, it will bear some element of truth. What I saw there was, to me, it looked like a class 3 written play. It looked like a play written by a class 3 student, casted by class 3 students. I mean, it was just bought.
Actually, what was surprising me is that when this lady was down, when the demons were being cast out, this lady was conscious that maybe the clothes she was getting naked somehow, so she was pulling the dress all the time. Now I was wondering, if somebody is in that state, it means she's unconscious or subconscious or anything, but she knows what is happening.
And even the part where the demons are talking, saying that they sniped her 3 cars and stuff. I think time has come when we must go the Rwanda way.
Yes.
Time has come when we must go the Rwanda way. And on this, I'm challenging the presidency, parliament, and any other person out there that we need to bring in a rigorous legal regime. A rigorous legal regime that will weed out these spiritual conmen, spiritual quacks, thugs, skaldagas, people who, for lack of a better word, I would not even call Nganga a bishop. I would not even call him a Christian. These are quacks. These are
But he's
conmen.
a doctor, man. He's a doctor.
My friend, getting a PhD is not easy. That guy, come on. This man was a former armed robber. He came from committee and he opened a church.
Because I hear that he's a Form 2 dropout.
I doubt.
A Form 2 dropout is a doctor.
A Form 2 dropout.
Yeah, he's a doctor.
Would have some intellectual pedigree. But what we see here is just a bad. I mean, come on.
For Rose Muhando, I really feel sorry for her.
And remember, this is one man who's even implicated in a murder case. I wish he took his time and repented himself.
I saw he has the same Nganga has a very big crusade in town where he will be. I think after catching the big fish.
God help this country. And I wish we went the Rwanda way, where we say we close all these churches.
But for Rose Muhando,
I say we close all these churches.
Yes.
We take all these men to school. They study theology, so that by the time they come back, the society is protected. Remember, we live in a society where if a pastor wants a car,
yes,
the church fundraises for him. When a church member has a problem, they tell him to turn to God for prayers. Then you ask yourself, why can't the pastor turn to God for prayers?
That reminds me too. You see,
these are criminals.
When Christianity was being introduced into in this country,
yes,
I remember during that time, it is the church that used to take care of the welfare of the people.
Exactly, it's called pastoral care.
It is the church that built schools. It is the church that built hospitals that they can be cheaply available to the people, the church goers.
Yes.
But nowadays, people are called to fundraise for the churches. Churches are built, schools are built, but the same children of the people who built those churches and schools and hospitals cannot afford.
In fact, this is a conversation, ladies.
Don't you think it is time they close these churches like Kagame did?
This is a conversation that, in fact,
yes,
we need a whole day, a whole day of national conversation. We need a national dialogue on matters, especially of spiritual quackery,
yes,
and religious conmanship that has sneaked into this nation, distorting our values.
They are stealing in the name of the Lord.
Distorting our values. If you look at them, look at. Come on, I lack for lack of a better word.
Let us leave it
for
there.
Lack of a better word.
Yes. Now let us also talk about the Killer Kayole building that was demolished by Sonko yesterday, Governor Sonko. Others are now blaming Governor Sonko that why is he getting instructions from Kenyans on social media? Where was he when this building was being erected? So what do you think is the problem? Because there are so many unworthy buildings, in fact, that are dangerous. They are hazards that are being elected, but they are not demolished so far.
Sonko has a problem.
Yes.
Sonko has a problem. And if he's watching me, Your Excellency, Governor Sonko, you do have a problem. We have ward administrators in this country, in this county of Nairobi, that are paid by the county treasury.
Yes.
These are people, these are the DOs of governor. The DOs of governor. The DOs of governor. Somebody is seriously asleep. Somebody is seriously asleep. Banana Peddler, a building is not a mushroom that it pops up nowhere.
Yes.
It is not a bullet that just pops up nowhere. It is not a bomb that pops up nowhere. It takes time to build. It takes, first of all, time to build a foundation.
Yes.
It takes time to put up a building until it comes into a point where it's habitable. Where was the ward administrator? Where was the National Construction Authority? Something is wrong. Sonko is a victim of serious sabotage.
He's being sabotaged.
He's being sabotaged by I don't even know how to call them. People in his administration are thoroughly sabotaging him. Sonko needs to crack the whip. Sonko needs what I call a palace coup. If I was Sonko, I would even fire the ward administrator in charge of that area. And I would write to National Construction Authority asking them, where were they all this while? I would even raise the same issue in Parliament. The member of Parliament for Embakasi West should raise this serious issue in Parliament on the whole role of National Construction Authority. He needs to raise a serious issue on this. Because look, Albert, we're not going to have a situation where we wake up in the morning, you go to the bank, you take a loan, you put up a building, then they come and say, oh, this building, this building, this building.
And they were watching.
Where were they all this while? Where were they all this while? We are going to breed a nation of frustrated
You mentioned Embakasi East Member of Parliament,
West.
Babu Owino.
Embakasi West Member of Parliament.
And that also, I cannot also go without talking something about Babu Owino.
Yes.
You see, Babu Owino, there are words he spoke when he was calling the president the son of a bitch. You see, these are our leaders. When somebody like Babu Owino speaks that way,
yes,
and there are children from Ambira, from where I also read,
look up to him.
Yeah, who look up to him. Don't you think they copy these examples?
Sure, they do. That is why I said in this nation we have a serious shortage of role models. Actually, what you have is poverty of role models. This nation is so rich in poverty of role models.
Yes.
Our children are looking up to criminals
as their role model.
Unfortunately, these criminals are in parliament. That is why I'm very much disappointed when I hear that you call it an august house. You know, august is an English word meaning honorable. Yes. A place where men are gentle, a place of character, real character. But what we see here are thugs, actually.
Yes.
What we see there
and also, Daktari, yes, if we go political somehow, I also want us to talk about the politics of Western Kenya.
Wow.
The politics of Western Kenya.
Yes.
Right now, as it is, it is perceived that Musalia Mudavadi is the king of Western.
Which king of Western?
The king of Luya. Because now he's creating the Luya Alliance.
Who is perceiving this king the king of Western?
The people. Especially people from Western.
Which people?
Now I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Is Musalia Mudavadi the last man standing?
Where?
Because NASA now is dead, we can say.
If he did.
Kalonzo has been taken away. He's an envoy. Raila Odinga is an envoy now. Should Musalia go the same way? Because now, as it seems, this man now is the last man standing as the official opposition leader. And Ekuru Aukot. Who do you think between the two can make a good official opposition leader?
I've never understood what Ekuru Aukot stands for. Ekuru Aukot was part and parcel of the committee of experts.
The official opposition
he was part and parcel of the committee of experts.
Yes.
When did you pass the constitution? It was in 2010.
2010, yeah.
Ekuru Aukot today wants amendment of the very, very constitution. It simply means that, let me not even discuss this gentleman. This is one gentleman who got no single elected MCA out of the 1,500 wards.
Yes.
Out of the over 300 constituencies in this country, he got no MP. Out of all these women reps, he got nothing. He actually, to me, Ekuru Aukot's organization is not a political party, it's more of an NGO.
Yeah.
And this kind of development does not even worry him. It does not even worry him. He's now going around collecting signatures. Come on, this guy, that is a charade.
In the same constitution,
that is a charade. It's just another bad play, poorly written, like the Rose Muhando drama festival.
Yes.
But now let me talk about Musalia
Mudavadi. Yeah.
If Musalia Mudavadi is the last man standing, then he's standing on clay feet. He's standing on clay feet.
He's clay-footed.
He's clay-footed. The gentleman is standing on clay feet. He can't hold. In fact, for that matter,
yes,
I was looking at the latest developments in the UK. Former Minister for Brexit, Boris Johnson.
The Raila Odinga of London
has been employed by some newspaper.
Yes.
Nick Clegg.
Yes.
The former deputy...
France.
No.
And,
the former deputy prime minister, the Lib Dem leader under the coalition government of Cameroon, is the incoming CEO of Facebook.
Yes.
I want to plead with other serious institutions in this country, like for example BATA, like Brooks, and I'll be petitioning both Musalia Mudavadi and these organizations, especially BATA, to employ Musalia Mudavadi there, maybe as a CEO, as a COO, so that he can be relevant to this society. But telling me that he's going for Luya Alliance, do you know what?
You say as a CEO or a COO?
As a CEO or a COO.
What do you mean COO?
It's the Chief Operating Officer, all right? And the CEO is the Chief Executive Officer. What annoys me more in this country is that it is Musalia Mudavadi's father who fished boy from obscurity and introduced him into politics. If today Musalia Mudavadi's father was to rise up and find his son being this lazy, this lousy, this lackadaisical, this uninspiring, being weak to a point that it doesn't inspire even the Luyas itself. Musalia Mudavadi contested in 2013. Luyas are far more superior numerically. How many votes did Musalia Mudavadi get? Musalia Mudavadi was a candidate in this previous election. How many MPs did Musalia Mudavadi get? Juxtapose Musalia Mudavadi of today to Wamalo of 1997. How many MPs did Wamalo get? Wamalo actually got over 600,000 votes. That was in 1997. Yes. Same votes that Musalia got in 2013. Do you mean to tell me that Luyas don't give birth?
But they say Bukusus are many.
Do you mean to... We're talking about Luyas. Bukusu is a sub-tribe within the Luya community. Do you mean to tell me that? Do you mean to tell me there is something here seriously wanting?
Yes.
Among the hacks around Musalia Mudavadi. It is either they know something that Luyas don't know, or Luyas know something that they don't know.
Yes.
Pure and simple. How many constituencies are in Luya land? How many even in Kakamega itself? In Vihiga, the governor was chosen in ODM. That is his supposed stronghold. That should be his Furia Banka. That should be his home of last resort. My friend, if somebody can beat you in your house, then you're doomed. Then you should not even call yourself a community leader. You are, like I said before, that either Musalia Mudavadi knows something that Luyas don't want to know, or Luyas knows something that Musalia doesn't want to know. He's bogus.
These people.
That is why I want Bata to employ him.
These people, these lawyers from Western, yes. Will these people ever unite? Behind one candidate?
People unite around something. People unite around something. What brought those together was the persecution by the government and several years of economic marginalization. Lawyers have sugar. Why don't they? It's unity of purpose, not unity of tea, not unity of ugali. If you want to unite around ugali, then this conversation will be around. The conversation around Luya Alliance has been there before I was born. Right now, I'm exiting my youth. We are still discussing Luya Alliance.
But Onyango Cheng Jr., yes. There are things that maybe some people don't understand. You know, there is no tribe called Luya. Luya, as they say, this was just an organization that was formed in 50s. These people at the University of Nairobi who came from Western side. And then they said that since we come from Western, that is a chama that they made that now came out to be Luya. Because these people don't even understand each other. Abukusu talking to a Maragoli, they don't understand each other.
Let me not get into that debate. Nevertheless,
but it is true.
Nevertheless,
can Abukusu communicate to a Maragoli very fluently and they understand each other?
But even a Luo from Kisumu cannot comprehensively communicate with a Luo from Ugenya. But what I want to say is...
But they're together.
Yes, but what I want to say is this. They've never found a rallying point. They've never found a point of mobilization beyond this Luya Baldadash. Right? They've never look at it this way. Luyas have been in government since 1963. Luos have been in opposition since 1963. But today, you can't compare Lowland to Lowland. Lowland is way farther developed, right? So they need to rally around some values. They need to rally around some serious issues. There's the issue of sugarcane. There is the issue of foods. There is the issue of tea. There is the issue of teeming youth population. Today, if you tie a rope at Kangemi, you'd be surprised how many lawyers are entering Nairobi on a daily basis. Actually, there are more than 1,000 entering Nairobi on a daily basis. So these are matters that should concern the leaderships down there. But when you're telling me that Luya Alliance, this is a conversation that has been there. And by the way, why do they want to unite? Why do they want to unite?
So that they can at least produce a president, a powerful one. When they unite, at least we others can say that at least they are united, like now Luos. You know, people respect Raila Odinga because when Raila Odinga is presented by the Luo as a presidential candidate, at least we say they are united. Now we can give them their support. So if Luyas do the same, they have more than 6 million.
They lack
yes,
an inspiration, an inspiring figure to bring that together. Look at Musalia Mudavadi. Look at Wetangula. Look at Eugene Wamalwa. These guys can't come together.
They have more than 4 million votes.
These guys can't come together. So actually, they've never identified some of these serious values and projects that unite them. I'd wanted to see them unite around the sugar debate. I'd wanted to see them unite around incest debate. Right now, you can't go to Learland. Actually, there are more orphanages taking in incest children than even school care of incest babies.
Yeah, I actually saw one on TV.
They should unite around these values. And of late, there is the issue of drug abuse, where you remember that in Luanda there are more madmen in Luanda market than in the entire nation. But again, if you want to bring, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to bring layers together,
what did you just say?
This is open to scientific explanation. There are more madmen in Rwanda than all madmen in Africa.
Lawyers are coming for your neck. I hope you'll be able to explain.
The good thing is that truth needs no defense.
Yeah?
Truth needs no defense. There are three things to that side: the sun, the moon, and the truth.
Yes.
That is a fact. It's an open fact. Go to Luanda Market. If you cast your eyes, there are more madmen than
My lawyer viewers,
and it's all around about drugs.
the views expressed here are that of Onyango Chek Jr. and not those of Banana Peddler.
These are matters that should be bringing lawyer lawyers together. Now, these are the lawyer lawyers that Musalia Mudavadi and all these people should be raising.
But you,
yes,
your backyard,
yes,
you now Onyango Chek Jr.
yes.
Is it Wanga?
Yes.
Gladys Wanga. The Homa Bay women rep. And Millie Odhiambo. These people are fighting. Why are they fighting? Others say, why are they fighting?
First, I love that
you
fight.
Also have problems.
First of all, I love that fight. I want them to fight more. When the fight is internal, it means that we are going now to have serious debates. Because look, this lady, the member of parliament from Bita,
Millie.
She's raising serious matters of governance, serious matters of quality leadership.
Is she sincere?
Yes, she is sincere.
Or maybe because of 2022?
She is sincere because Homa Bay County is failing, and this lady, the lady being accused, actually she's from Kisumu. Like
but
me.
She's just a woman rep.
But there's the National Government Affirmative Actions Fund. And of course, she's very, very close to the governor.
Why can't she direct the same claims to the governor? Because it is the governor who is the CEO of the county. Why the woman rep?
Well, I think they also have their own personal issues. Nevertheless, yes, if they start fighting like this, it means that by the time we get to 2022, yes, we are going to have a contest of ideas. We are going to have a contest of clarity of views.
You are covering.
No, I'm not covering.
Yes.
Look, the contest between Millie and the other lady is not a contest of somebody snatching somebody's husband.
Yes.
It is not a contest of somebody's dating somebody's ex. It is a contest of somebody's offering poor leadership. By the way, for information, in Parliament.
Please stop there. Daktari, don't mislead us. We all know well that these people, it is the 2022 gubernatorial succession. That is the issue here. Why are you beating around the bush?
I'm not even trying to skirt around any point, but what I want to emphasize is, in as much as they are fighting, the issues they are raising are of valuable to the voter, are of great value to the voter. This is a part of civic education. Actually, I call it civic education.
That fight is a blessing in disguise.
It's a blessing in disguise. It is a Christmas come early to the voters, so that voters will have a rich choice, an informed decision to make beyond psychophancy and hysteria and mob hysteria. But let me tell you something here. Millie Mabona in Parliament.
Yes.
In the last two parliaments, yes, when she was nominated and when she came in as an MP,
yes,
has been the best in terms of raising bills. She's brought bills more than any other person.
What about on the ground performance?
Wonderful.
It's a good one. Huh?
Albert.
I'm sure this is not PR for it.
Albert, you cannot hide the sun, the moon, and the truth. You cannot hide the sun.
But you see, if Millie Odhiambo would direct this fight to the governor, that is when it will be a blessing in disguise to the people. But now this is just a woman rep.
I think Millie also. Okay, fine.
Why are you accusing a woman rep of developing?
I think Millie.
We also all know that women reps are idlers in parliament. They don't have anything to do.
But Albert, you've seen some women reps really do some very.
Because ODM gives tickets.
Yes.
If you were to ask Baba to give one of them a ticket, who would you prefer maybe goes with the ticket?
For the governor?
Yes.
I don't even believe any of them can make a good governor. I don't believe any of them can make a good governor. Say senator. I think they would make good senators because these are people coming from an activist background.
Yes.
They have rightful places in parliament.
But if you say
the rightful places in parliament,
if you say Millie's performance on the ground is wonderful,
it is good. But even as a senator,
it
is good. But even as a senator, she can still perform. The work of a senator is to oversight the county, and that is one job that Millie can do with passion, coming from a serious agitation background. Remember, Millie was running Cradle, Center for Child Rights, and while there, she did a very wonderful job. In parliament, I've told you, Millie has brought more bills than any other person.
Talking of women leaders,
yes.
Anne Waiguru. The other day,
I didn't see that coming.
The other day, that is a surprise.
I didn't see that coming.
The other day, yes, she went to see Baba, and you remember, Baba had heaped a lot of allegations against Anne Waiguru when she was the CS for devolution. There is a lot of money that was stolen. In fact, Baba had a lot of facts. and Duale was his backup. Now, I'm wondering, when one Waiguru went to Baba's office, number one, she withdrew the suit against, defamation suit against Baba. And Baba now said he is no longer going to... Now I want to ask you a question. Does it mean that now Anne Waiguru ni mweupe kama pamba?
Wow. Wow. Like I said, I didn't see that question coming.
Yes.
I didn't expect it. So maybe I wasn't prepared thoroughly to answer it, to distill the question.
Yes.
Nevertheless, let me say this, that first of all...
And be sincere here.
I'll be very sincere.
Yes.
I'll be very, very sincere because the nation comes first. As human beings we pass, but this nation stays.
Yes.
So I'm going to answer this question with the love of God and the love of my country. Sad that in this nation, the kind of politics we play is more of a contest of jealousy.
Contest of jealousy.
Yes. Than a contest of values and patriotism. All right? So today, for example, we are more united by interest, personal interest, than interest of this nation and her citizens. When Waiguru withdraws that suit against Baba,
yes,
does it validate Baba's claims? Does it say that after all, Baba was right? But because these two people made peace, let's forget and move on, which is very sad. A lot of money was lost. And personally, I believe that if I look at Kafura does not strike me like someone who has the sophistication and the intellectual might to walk into the Ministry of Devolution and National Youth
and walk out with a sack of
with those billions. It doesn't make sense to me. Even this issue of this other lady, the slave queen, she's called Garita.
Oh, Garita.
She strikes me as too illiterate to have done all these atrocities.
But
somebody's out covering something. And when Baba met Waiguru, to me it was politics 101. It was just 2022 successions. But it is not good for this country.
But now, should that be the trend?
It is not good for this country because we are setting a bad example. We are setting a very bad example. Tomorrow, these criminals who are at committee.
Yes. When they walk out of committee.
Tomorrow now we should release them and tell them to go and make peace with the people they wronged. Because it's like that is the trend we are setting, which is a very bad precedent. I am not happy. But for the sake of 2022, and for the sake of politics of posterity, I think sometimes the spirit of the law overrides the letter.
But now but still I'm really not happy about anything, because now people will be stealing and then they make peace. At the detriment of one inch?
At the expense of money being stolen. Let me tell you something. In other countries, corruption is ranked as genocide.
Yes.
Grand corruption is ranked as genocide because corruption, it compromises. You know, the key role of government is to offer public good. It compromises the quality of public services and goods. What is the outcome? Deaths, destruction and poverty. So if these two people decided to make peace, then they need to call a press conference and tell us if those allegations were true and what should we do way forward for this nation of ours.
Because in other countries you face the firing squad.
In fact, after that meeting, I expected Baba to come and say that we have now recommended Waiguru for the firing squad because money was lost. Money has not been found.
Still in Nyanza, Kisumu politics. Professor Nyang', what is happening with Professor Nyang'? Because look at Lake Victoria, man. You see this grass here?
Yes.
The way it's green. Lake Victoria is this way.
It's very sad.
The other day I saw people with a boat on top of that grass. And then I was wondering, what are these people doing riding a boat on a tea plantation? Only to be told later that is hyacinth.
It is very, very sad. It is very sad that with all those forest of degrees, Nyong'o seems clueless, he seems rudderless, he seems idealess, he seems like he doesn't even know what to do. It makes me think that education is way too overrated. I think classroom knowledge and leadership are two different things. And these are things that we must now separate. We must now separate classroom knowledge and leadership. Like I told you last time,
yes,
some of the best performing presidents in history didn't go to school, but they delivered. Some of the best governors who are performing in this nation, we are told their education, their academic background is questionable. But look at Nyong'o, man. What annoys me more is that just in Kisumu there's a 76 million hyacinth harvester. This gentleman can't
Or
raise that
the
issue.
one that was brought.
Yes, these people can't raise that issue. There's the Lake Victoria Basin Commission. It's
Yes.
in Kisumu. These people can't raise that issue. We even have the Kisumu senator. He can't take this issue with the governor. I think we need to get to a point.
Who is the senator for Kisumu?
We need to get to a point where we separate psychophants, see, with politics for 5 years.
But you see, Onyi,
Yes.
sincerely, there are people in this country who have who don't have roles. For example, I didn't know the in fact I've even forgotten his name, the senator for Kisumu. You go to Mombasa, I don't know the senator from Mombasa. Who is the senator from Mombasa?
I have no idea.
Yeah? Now these people
I have
actually.
no idea. But
And then you see-
I'm very disappointed with the performance of Professor Peter Anyang' in Kisumu, and I'm terribly disappointed. First of all, as a son of Kisumu, as an indigene of Kisumu, and an
Yes.
aspiring leader of Kisumu, I'm totally disappointed in him. 1 year, nothing to show.
Because
Just
that is your own
1 year, nothing to show for it. Just launch. I think he should even change his name to Peter Launch.
Two-third gender.
Another, another bogus.
They want to change the constitution and increase. We have been crying that we are being overrepresented,
Yes.
but now they want to add more. We will be having close to 500.
We don't need 2/3 gender rule. We need 2/3 common sense. We need to tell women that our voting system is a secret ballot. They need to go in there and vote women. They need to stop this thing of dancing for male politicians. They need to go in there and vote
Because
women.
they are the majority.
They need to go in there and vote women.
They are majority of voters.
They cannot reject women at the ballot.
Yes.
Then turn back and say we are disadvantaged. Where are they disadvantaged? How are they disadvantaged? They cannot be dancing for male politicians and say no, we were disadvantaged. We were what? To me, that is utter balderdash. The conversation we should be having is how to elevate common sense to a level where it is now common. Unfortunately, at this hour, when we're talking about 2/3 gender rule, common sense is not common anymore. It is not. Women make 60% of Kenyan voters at the ballot. Why do
60?
why do they reject fellow women? Why? If women wanted to produce a president in this nation, they would have done so like last year.
They are jealous of themselves.
Remember, Ngilu stood for presidency in 1997.
97, yes.
Where
Masai
are women? Where are women?
Masai and Gilu.
What happens between the point where women go to vote? What happens inside that polling booth? Why don't women vote fellow women?
Anyway, they say women are jealous of themselves.
And they're their own worst enemies.
Yeah, they
That
are
is why today we are now fighting their wars. And by the way, show me any other nation in Africa and the whole world, apart from Rwanda and Sweden, where there is this kind of thing. And Boko Haram is growing stronger and stronger and stronger. The Nigerian president must swallow his pride. The Nigerian population must swallow their pride and invite the AU force. And it is here that I'm challenging Raila Odinga that AU need a rapid deployment force. If they can't, let them talk to African military superpowers like Uganda. Uganda is protecting Equatorial Guinea.
Yes. Uganda.
The Ugandan military. The Ugandans are all over Africa. If it was not for Ugandans, this gentleman called Riek Machar would have overran Juba long time ago. So if Buhari cannot make this fight, let him outsource this war. Because it is causing a lot of pain and poverty and suffering, which is not good. What Boko Haram is doing there is not fair. Funny enough though, there was this intergovernmental force that was tasked to go and deal with Boko Haram. Looks like the bean weevils inside the military. Boko Haram looks like they've really infiltrated the Nigerian army. They've really infiltrated. Because for this militia, where do they get their arms?
Will GMB survive?
That is what I wanted to now go to next. Unfortunately, in the Nigerian elections, Muhammad Buhari is competing Muhammad Buhari. Muhammad Buhari is the best alternative of Muhammad Buhari. You are comparing, now you want to compare Muhammad Buhari with one gentleman called Atiku Abubakar. This is one gentleman who was a vice president, and Obasanjo said he's unfit to lead. Why is he now going to? Where is he going to? Take this to the bank. The only challenge to Buhari is Muhammadu Buhari. He has done his bit. It's only that he inherited an empty country, a failed state. Restoring a failed state in 4 years is not easy. It is not easy. It's like the way that gentleman has inherited Zimbabwe after decades of destruction and ruin. Yes. You can't restore it in 5 years. You see in Zimbabwe there's even no money right now. There's no money. You're not allowed to withdraw more than 10,000 Kenya shillings from your bank.
What is the fate of MBS?
I think he'll be overthrown.
In Saudi Arabia.
The brother to the father will take over. That man, that young boy is too dangerous. He's the one who took Saudi to that war, and some of his foreign policies are very dangerous for Mother Earth. And you've seen EU through Federico Mogherini, the Secretary General, reacting on this. NATO has reacted on this, and other world leaders are coming to react on the character of this young man. This young man is like a monkey with a loaded gun.
Your closing remarks.
My closing remarks goes to Musalia Mudavadi. Musalia Mudavadi is silent like Baal.
Baal.
Clueless like Baal. Baal of the leader contest. The biblical Baal. Musalia Mudavadi is silent like Baal. Clueless like Baal. Idealist like Baal. Running a party that is amorphous.
It is ANC, man. It's allegoric to
ANC,
the greatest party in Africa.
ANC is the party of Albert Sisulu, Rohilala, Christopher Hani, and all these people who are very energetic. All right?
Yes.
They were very proactive. But
Nelson Mandela.
Look at Musalia's party, the Rohilala. Well, there was even Madigizela there. Madigizela Mandela. Govan Mbeki. And very many people can call them serious comrades who fought for change. But Musalia Mudavadi's party, where do they even operate? Where do they carry out the activation? Where do they market the activities? Musalia Mudavadi's party operates more like an NGO.
You said like Baal.
My friend, that party should change name to Baal National Congress.
Not ANC.
That party is asleep. The driver is asleep. It is just simply like a bicycle. It is uninspiring.
Well, you've heard it from the gentleman himself, Dr. Nyango Cheng Jr., political scientist. I think Kenyans really need to re-examine themselves, especially on the things that are happening. Nasty things are happening, and we really thank God. And in fact, I can only conclude by saying that Kenyans are special people. We are very special people.
Indeed, yeah. This is the same nation.
Yeah. Because
where women reject women leaders at the ballot,
yes,
then turn back and say they're being marginalized.
The reason why I say Kenya is a special, Kenyans are special people. The things that are happening here in this country, if they were to happen elsewhere in other countries, they will not survive. But anyway, this is where God created us. This is our home. Anyway, until next week, my name is Banana Peddler.